you all very much. Thanks. Now, if you were imagining the most awful parent in the world to have, you might well conclude that having the man who ran Auschwitz as your father came pretty near the top of the list. But the Kommandant of Auschwitz did have a family, and while researching his book, Hans and Rudolf, the German Jew and the Hunt for the Kommandant of Auschwitz, Thomas Harding tracked down his daughter. She's 80 now, and in the twilight of her life, feels a responsibility to tell her story.
My great-uncle, Hans Alexander, was a German Jew who fled to England to avoid Nazi persecution. At the end of the Second World War, he tracked down and captured Rudolf Höss, the Commandant of Auschwitz, the man responsible for creating the most infamous extermination camp and supervising the death of over 1 million Jews and others. While researching my book on my great-uncle and Rudolf Höss, I interviewed Höss's daughter. She lives in a small house in Northern Virginia, just outside of Washington, D.C. The condition of my interview with Brigitte was that we did not disclose her identity for fear of reprisals to the family.
I loved it. It was like paradise for me. And I didn't know what was on the other side of the villa.
There were prisoners who worked in the house and in the garden, is that correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I just thought they come and help, you know, people have different clothes on. We didn't know they were prisoners. And they were always happy and wanted to play with us.
From the age of 7 to 11, Brigitte lived with her parents and 4 siblings in a villa right next to the Auschwitz camp. Brigitte went on boat rides with her father, had picnics with her mother, and played in the sand while prisoners in striped pajamas walked behind. It was a normal childhood, only a few meters from misery and torment. But you didn't know who they were or what happened in the camp?
We didn't know what else was there. My father never talked about things like this. And there was no smoke. There was no smell of something.
And what was he like, your father? You said he was tired when he came home. What was he like?
What was he like?
Yeah, you said he was tired at the end of the day, wasn't he?
Yeah, he said, oh, meine lieben Kinder, did you have a nice day? And so, and then he hugged us all, and then, you know, but seemed sometimes like he was not very happy. But I mean, he was nice, but I could see things maybe bothered him also. But because I'm sure he wanted to get away, but if you're in something, you're in.
By 1944, the Commandant and his team were murdering up to 2,000 people each hour in the gas chambers. Trains were arriving frequently, carrying Jews, gypsies and homosexuals from across Europe. After being arrested, Höss was transferred to Nuremberg, where the Americans put him on the witness stand.
Der Führer hat die Endlösung der Judenfrage befohlen.
You said to me that he was the nicest father in the world, the nicest man in the world.
Yes.
How is it possible that he's the nicest man in the world if he was the Commandant of Auschwitz? How is that possible?
That's what I don't know. There was not one flaw on him. Nothing what was mean or not nice. First I didn't believe it. I said, couldn't be.
But now you believe it. Now you do believe that he was...
Yes, I believe, but I don't believe he did it himself. Definitely not. There are Himmler and Adolf Hitler and God knows all these people who pushed, you know, like somebody is above you and says, look, you have to do this, 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 this. I don't think it was his idea. I could not believe a man with so warmed at home could do something. I believe bad things happen there.
Terrible things. Not just bad, terrible things. Over 1 million people were murdered.
Yeah.
But you do believe that he created the camp Auschwitz, and he ran the camp where so many...
He managed it, but I think he didn't start it with it.
Yeah, he did start with it. He created it. He absolutely created it.
Who told him to do this?
Himmler. Himmler told him to do it. And he built the camp, and over 1 million Jews were murdered in your father's gas chambers.
Yeah, I don't know why things like this even can happen. If there is a God, why does God let things like this happen?
You don't think the people involved are responsible?
Oh, to a certain extent, definitely. But I think there was nothing else to do.
Rudolf Höss was tried in Poland and, in April 1947, hung on a gallows next to the old Auschwitz crematorium. From that point forward, the Höss family had to reinvent themselves. And in the 1970s, Brigitte moved with her American husband to the suburbs of Washington, D.C. You've decided not to talk about it with your husband and your children. Why is that?
I don't know, I just didn't feel to. I just, certain things there are my problem or my special secrets or whatever.
Why are you talking to me about all this now, after all these years?
Maybe I'm getting older and I think different. Not different, but I believe it. Such horrible things can be done from somebody you have no idea.
While talking with Brigitte, I realised that she is still struggling to reconcile the father that she knew and loved with the man whose monstrous acts history has recorded. So there were two sides to your father, you think?
Definitely couldn't be different. Couldn't be. A person is so gentle and so wonderful and so family orientated, and he can do something like this. I just know the good side, I don't know the bad side. And I think I'm glad about it.
So if your father was here now, what would you say to him?
Why? You know, so many questions and no answers.
Now,